Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in. I certainly hope you had a good day or having a good day. And I want to say I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with me and telling your friends, by the way. A lot of folks, you tell your friends you like me on Facebook. It's Facebook.com/Dr. Joe Esposito. And we get a ton of response. And it's a good way to send me questions, too. But we send out information about what we're talking about, what our shows are going to be about when we have lectures. And today we're going to talk about fat. Not about fat on your body, but eating fat. Good fats, bad fats, ugly fats. Because so many people have misconceptions about fat. And they think we have to stay away from fat. Fat's bad. Fat is no good. The right fats are actually very good for you. They help your skin. They help you look younger. Among the signs you're not getting enough high-quality fats include things like dry, itchy, scaly, flaky skin. So people come to me all the time and they say, Dr. Joe, I've got itchy skin. I've got dry skin. I've got psoriasis. And one of the things I always look at when it comes to skin conditions is the liver. In fact, in all my years of practice, 32 plus years, not counting all those years I was in college, every time I see a skin condition, I think liver. And so many people have liver issues and don't realize it. And the reason they have liver issues is because their liver isn't working because of their bad diet. And it could be one of the things that causes the liver to malfunction is eating bad fat. Could be from alcohol, could be from sugar. But when I was in college, way back when, we were taught that if you dissect a liver out, dissect would be on a dead person. We only did dead people. And you pull out a liver and it was fatty, and it looked fatty. It looked like a really marbled piece of steak. Marbling is the fat that's in between the muscle tissue. And if you pulled out a fatty liver, the answer was alcoholism. And you got the test question right. Well, unfortunately, in the past several decades, that's not true anymore. What we're finding now is when the liver gets fatty, it could be from things like sugar. Now, what's alcohol? Alcohol is a sugar, and it could be from eating bad fats because your liver has to process everything. Anything you breathe, anything you drink, anything you eat is eventually going to end up in your liver one way or another. And if the liver is overburdened, the cells can't keep up the pace, so this is a real simplistic way of looking at it. So the liver will store the toxins in fat cells, kind of just to get them out of the way. Here comes more stuff. I got to put you aside for now. And you get a fatty liver. So if you're eating bad fats and they're not being broken down properly, that can cause problems with your liver. So let's talk about some bad fats, and we'll talk about some good fats. And then we'll talk about other things that are probably wreaking havoc on your liver and your skin. Bad fats, trans fats, are found in vegetable oils and processed foods, and they create what's called oxidative damage. What the heck is an oxidative damage? Oxidation is essentially rust. It changes the molecular structure of things in a damaged way. So you can damage fats by cooking them. So when you eat fried foods, it's not necessarily just the fat that's bad. It's the fact that the fat was heated and goes into a trans configuration, thus the word trans fat. It changes its molecular structure when it's heated, and that's when it becomes really dangerous. And there's a chemical process we can do where we use nickel as a medium, and we use oil and we hydrogenate the oil. We add molecules of hydrogen, saturating the fat. See how these words are coming along now? Saturated, it's the chemical bonds that are in there, hydrogen. So don't worry about the chemistry. But if you're putting bad fat, you're heating fats, it can change the molecular structure. Then you take the bad fats, change the molecular structure, and let them go rancid, and now we got a problem. So what might cause that? Well, how about something as innocuous or innocent as you making scrambled eggs and leaving them out on the counter for a couple of hours? The fats, when they're heated, change the molecular structure, and then they start to go rancid if they're sitting out for too long. So if you go to a breakfast buffet and they're not changing the fats or changing the food very quickly, any type of buffet, not a good idea. These bad fats spark what's called free radical damage. Free radicals are like Pac-Man. Remember Pac-Man? Anybody old enough to remember Pac-Man? Well, now it's made a comeback, so waka, 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 waka. They eat through things. Pac-Man would eat through things. Well, that's exactly what's happening with free radicals. Free radicals attack the cells and eat through the cell wall, bursting the cell open and destroying it. So free radicals need to be counteracted, and they're counteracted by something called antioxidants. So if you have a bad diet and you have more free radicals than antioxidants, you have a problem. I'd much rather have you have more antioxidants than free radicals, so then you win. The other way around, you're going to lose. You have to lose. You can't not lose. So these free radicals cause they cause the cells to die. They attack the cells, and then the body goes into an inflammatory state. And when you have inflammation, the body has problems. As a chiropractor, my big concern is I want to make sure I reduce inflammation, not increase it, because I want to control your pain. So if we can bring the inflammation down, that's a good thing. And we have to stop causing it. That's the other thing. So when you come into our offices, we want to give you what we would consider the best chiropractic care available. And you come see me and my team of doctors, and we give you treatment. We line up the spine. We balance out the muscles. We take the stress off the joints, and your body is tuned up. But we do a nutritional evaluation on all our patients, too, because if you're eating a bad diet, causing inflammation, you're fighting me. We're making 3 steps forward. You're going 2 steps back with your diet. So in order to have good health, you have to have a normally functioning nervous system from a structural standpoint, chiropractically, and a good diet. So if you're eating these bad fats, it's causing inflammation, and that's a double whammy. Not a good thing. The free radicals as well, by the way, can eat away at your connective tissue. So the thing that keeps your skin holding together, something has to connect your skin to the underlying muscles, and there's fascia and there's connective tissue, and the free radicals can eat away at that, and that can lead to things like wrinkles. Years ago, I used to say for every puff of cigarettes you take, you get 100 billion free radicals. So imagine 100 billion Pac-Men eating away at your connective tissue. This is why smokers wrinkle so much. Well, it turns out I was wrong. I have to retract that statement. It's not 100 billion free radicals per puff. It's 100 trillion free radicals per puff. The research then was billion, now it's trillion. So imagine 100 trillion Pac-Men attacking the skin around your eyes, around your butt, around your stomach, around your face. And it's causing these chemicals are causing your connective tissue to be destroyed. And the bad fats create the free radicals as well. So you don't want to eat fried foods, not just because it's fat, but because the frying process is where the damage comes in. And we're going to talk about something called AGE, AGE, Advanced Glycation End Products. And I'm going to tell you why those things are bad and why you got to cut out the sugar along with the free radicals. So I'm going to give you a little tease there. Now, smart fats include all sorts of anti-inflammatory fats, which are ultimately going to help your skin become more moist, reduce inflammation, remove outbreaks, give shine to your hair, strengthen your nails. I hear this all the time with patients. I've been doing this for a long time now. Patients come in, they change their diet, they start eating right, they take things like Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source, and they say, Doc, my hair's growing in better. My nails are stronger. My vision is clearing up. I have more energy. My love life is improved. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. No, I think to myself, why did you do these other things to begin with? And it's usually because people don't know. No one ever told you what you're doing is wrong. And I'm telling you, stop doing the bad stuff, do the good stuff. You have to eat anyway. Why not eat good food? You have to use shampoo and conditioner and if you want to. Yeah, skin products. Why not use good ones instead of bad ones? It's really, that's just a switch out. Maybe a tiny bit more expensive, but the money you're going to save by changing your diet is going to far outweigh anything that you're spending on crazy things like shampoo. And that's the thing. I save so much money on my diet. It's incredible how much money I save because I eat basic foods. You know, right now sitting in front of me here, I have a head of romaine lettuce. I just washed it, and I made some hummus. And I'll take the hummus and I'll lay it in the romaine and just roll it up and eat it. Instead of eating crackers, instead of eating bread, instead of eating wraps, I use romaine lettuce. Tastes great. And it keeps you light, keeps you fresh. I don't get that bloated feeling, that heavy feeling, that I just want to go home and sleep feeling. How many of you get that way at the end of the day? A lot of you. And a lot of it has to do with one of 3 things. It's this simple. I'm going to keep it simple. You have to make sure your nervous system is working properly. You don't want pinched nerves because pain can cause you to get tired. The nerves also control organs, so the organs will malfunction. You have to eat the right diet. And again, you have to eat anyway. That thing sitting in front of me, that meal, $1.50 maybe for the hummus and probably 60 cents No, more than that. Dollar for the romaine lettuce. So maybe $2.50. I can't eat it all in one sitting. It's too much. So for $1.50, I get a meal and a snack. Tastes great, have energy, brain works better, lose weight, digestive system returns back to normal, brain starts thinking again, stay young. And to make that, it took me, I timed it, it was 8 minutes. I couldn't walk to a vending machine, put money in and buy food, and sit down and unwrap it in 8 minutes. And here I have a healthy meal. And then if you go out to lunch, even worse. You have to get in your car and drive and waste gas. When you waste gas, you're burning fuel, which creates free radicals, which can then get into your body. So putting smart fats in your diet is really a good thing. Studies confirm essential and non-essential fatty acids play a separate and critical role in proper skin function and in your health. Monounsaturated fats, omega-3s, and even saturated fats can be good for you. There's certain good saturated fats and there's certain bad saturated fats. So now we're saying, wait a minute, fats are good, not bad? Yeah, because a while ago there was that craze, that stupid craze of fat-free food. And that just drove me nuts because one of the problems is you need to absorb your nutrients, vitamins like A, D, E, and K. In order to absorb vitamin A, D, E, and K, and vitamin D, by the way, is really a hormone, not a vitamin, but I'm splitting hairs here. In order to absorb those, you have to have fat. So if you have a fat-free salad dressing, and you're going to say, Dr. Joe, I'm eating right, I'm having salad, and I'm going to use a fat-free dressing. And I'm so proud of you because you're eating salad, but I'm not proud of you because you're not putting any fat in the salad, so you're not absorbing the nutrients. It's not so much what you ingest, it's what you digest. It's one of what we call Joeyisms. I had a marketing director years ago, and I have a list of them somewhere, pages and pages of Joeyisms. And one of them is, it's not what you ingest, it's what you digest. And so you have to be able to absorb the nutrients, and you need fat. So, folks, don't use a fat-free salad dressing. But don't use a salad dressing that has things like canola oil, which are high in omega-6 fatty acids, vegetable, corn oil, soybean oils, high in omega-6 fatty acids. You want to use an organic olive oil. Coconut oil is great. The problem is coconut oil hardens when it cools. I want to say it's 76 degrees, maybe it's 74. Anyway, somewhere in the 70s, the oil becomes liquid, and then it becomes solid. And so if you're putting a coconut oil in your salad dressing and then you add it to a cold salad, it might harden. Now, what's fun, side note, if you make your own smoothies, like I'll take Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source, and I'll mix it with a frozen banana sometimes and make like an ice cream out of it. And then what you can do, if you want to get really crazy, because I'm crazy like this, pour some coconut oil over it. And the coconut oil, when it hits the cold frozen banana and Super Greens and Essential Source, will actually harden. And if you remember when you were a kid, you'd go out and get those soft serve ice cream cones, and they dip them in like red and brown. I guess chocolate and cherry was supposed to be the flavor. And that coating on it, you know how they made that? They used to use it with coconut oil because the coconut oil would harden when it hit the ice cream. Now you can do that, kind of reminisce a little bit about your youth and actually get benefits because coconut oil is one of the good oils that we're going to talk about. And you need the fats to make your immune system work. You need the fats to make your nervous system work. Again, as a chiropractor, I want to make sure your nervous system is working because your nerves control your liver, your spleen, your kidneys. They control everything. So you can have a pinched nerve and it can cause pain, but 90% of the time you'll have a pinched nerve and you won't even know it because 90% of the time it's pinching a nerve that doesn't feel pain. And that nerve can malfunction because of it being pinched, because of inflammation, and it can also malfunction because you're not giving it the proper nutrition. I mean, what do you think makes these nerves work? The chemistry in your body. That's what makes the nerves fire. Sodium and potassium switch in and out of the nerve cells, creating what's called an action potential, firing off the nerve. That's how you create electricity in your body. You have to have the sodium potassium switching back and forth, and it switches in and out of the cell walls. And those cell walls are made up of a lipoprotein layer, lipo meaning fat. So if you're putting bad fats, hydrogenated oils, trans fat, fried foods into your body, those cell walls don't have a good lipoprotein layer, and so it's harder for the sodium potassium to switch back and forth out of the cell, and now you're affecting your nervous system. Holy carambas. That's crazy. Yeah. So you want to have that funnel cake, and you want to have that fried ice cream, and you want to have those French fries? Now we're getting onto the molecular level as to what's happening with those saturated fats. So as a chiropractor, folks, I would love to be your doctor. I would love to be the person you come to, me and my team of doctors. I have a team of doctors, 7 of us, 6, 7 of us. We'd love to have you come see us. Now, if you want to make an appointment, we have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. You can go to my website, drjoeesposito.com, or just Google Dr. Joe with the number one Dr. Joe in the world. And on the website, we have archive radio shows, live lectures. Come out to my live lectures. They're a lot of fun, by the way. Look at my website for my schedule. And I travel all over the place, so hopefully I'll be in your neighborhood. And you can make an appointment. Listen to the radio shows, watch the videos of my live lectures, read the articles I've written. You can get Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source there. My other supplements, my books, Eating Right for the Health of It, and Prescription for Extreme Health are there as well. But making an appointment, you can do it online or you can give us a call. We accept people with insurance, all the insurances, and we accept people without insurance too. Because it's interesting. The cost of getting healthy is so much cheaper than health care costs, so to speak. Oh, I like that. That may be a new Joeyism. The cost of getting healthy is cheaper than health care costs. Because when you're healthy, you're eating right, you have a nervous system, digestive system working properly. So if you've ever been in a car accident, if the car was damaged, you were damaged 100% of the time. I don't care if the pain starts now or 20 years from now. You were damaged. You are not tougher than a car, trust me. So if you want to make an appointment, sports injuries, kids, bring the kids in, folks. Kids need treatment. God, I love treating kids. The website's there 24 hours a day. Be ready to make some changes in your life and make sure you show up for your appointment because we're going to reserve time for you, which is very important. So again, to get the supplements, my books, make an appointment, drjoeesposito.com or just Google Dr. Joe. I want to see you this week. So we're talking a little bit more about fats, good fats, bad fats, and how fats are really important because the lipoprotein layer in your cell, especially the nervous system, has to be able to transport sodium, potassium in and out of the cell. And if it happens normally, you have a normally functioning nervous system. If it's sluggish, we may have some problems. And also, bad fats can actually clump your red blood cells together. And when red blood cells clump together, they can't carry oxygen. And if they can't carry oxygen, you get tired. Kind of important stuff here, isn't it? So let's talk about some good fats. Where can we get some good fats from? Avocados. These are the rock stars. I'm going to go through a list of rock stars. Rich in monounsaturated fats. Again, it's how the chemistry lays out. Avocados have learned an A-list reputation. You should be eating avocados a lot. What I'll do is I'll get them, usually when they're on sale, and I'll stock up, and I'll let them ripen. Now, how do you know an avocado's ripen? As you push on it, it should gently give like the tip of your nose. When it's that soft, just like gently touching the tip of your nose, put it in the refrigerator. That'll slow down the ripening process, and you'll have it last a lot longer. So avocados are great. They're loaded with something called carotenoids. Carotenoids are antioxidants. That's why avocados are green. And they help prolong youthful skin appearance. They help the connective tissue in your body. Now, as a chiropractor, again, I'm worried about connective tissue because your muscles, your ligaments, your joints, everything's connected. And I want you to eat the foods that are going to help strengthen and maintain good connective tissue. Another study found antioxidants lutein and zeaxanthin in avocados protect your skin from damage from UV and visible radiation. Lutein and zeaxanthin are also important for your eye health. And in fact, if you go to the eye doctor and you start developing things like macular degeneration, the doctor's going to say, start taking lutein and zeaxanthin. I agree with that, but I don't think it's enough. I have a condition called macular degeneration. I was going blind. My version is called drusen. And my drusen, the doctor said, this is not good. I was about 5 years ago, I guess, 6 years ago, maybe longer. Anyway, and the doctor said, you have drusen. It's not a good thing. Chances are it'll either stay the same or get worse, but it's never going to get better. So I started taking Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source because it's loaded with antioxidants. And 2 years later, I had my picture taken of my eye again. The doctor was actually shaking. He said, I can't believe this. You're about 50 to 60% better than you were 2 years ago. He says, this never happens. Another year later, I went and saw one of his associates, young girl, and she looked at it, and she had my third picture in a row, and it got better still. And she said, can I use your pictures for research? Can I use this in ophthalmology magazines and research journals? I said, yes. She said, because it never gets better. I said, all right, the only thing I want you to do is give people my website so they can get the Super Greens and the Essential Source. So now you tell them, yeah, it works, and they don't know what to do about it. She said she would. So Super Greens and Essential Source rock because they're loaded with antioxidants to help repair cell damage. And if you are eating bad fats, which you need to stop, at least they can start counteracting it. If you're not eating bad fats, those antioxidants can now do other things like keep you young and healthy. Now, avocado's a fruit. Yeah, it really is a fruit. It's not a vegetable. and it's loaded with fiber and things like potassium. So the way I eat it is I just cut it open, take the pit out. I'll put a little salt on it. I like it with salt. And I'll even put some olive oil where the pit was in that little indentation to give me more oil. You want to use an extra virgin organic olive oil, of course. And here's a fun fact for you. So many companies now are putting out fake olive oil or altered or adulterated olive oil. So here's what you do. Buy the olive oil, put it in your refrigerator. The next morning, take a look at it. Did it get cloudy? Did it start getting a little thick? If it did, it's a good quality olive oil. If it didn't, it's junk. Take it back to the store and tell the manager of the store, this is not 100% pure olive oil. And this is how I know. Dr. Joe told me I put it in the refrigerator. It didn't get thick and cloudy. Wow, how's that for a cool trick? See, you learn so much when you listen to these shows. That's why I put them on my website for you to listen to 24 hours a day, drjoeesposito.com. So olive oil is great, monounsaturated fat. One study found olive oil reduces premature aging in the skin, which is triggered by repeated ultraviolet radiation. Now, here's something I want you to consider. You ever been down toward the equator, maybe the islands? People don't wrinkle down there, do they? They're in the sun all day, every day. Yeah, granted, a lot of them are dark-skinned. There's no question about that. But one of the reasons they don't wrinkle is because they eat a lot of fats. They'll eat things like coconuts. And the fats, the coconuts will actually the coconut oil will help the skin protect itself from the radiation. It actually acts like an internal sunscreen. And a good olive oil will act like that too. So a neat little thing you can do is take the olive oil and add some apple cider vinegar. Raw organic apple cider vinegar is awesome. Now, it's a little strong. I think you should take about 2 tablespoons a day. I have a real tough time doing that, I'll be honest with you. But boy, when you take it, it alkalizes your system. It stimulates your digestive system. It gives you potassium. It gives you probiotics. And boy, when people start taking apple cider vinegar, a lot of them just come off their coffee almost instantly because it gives them so much energy. So if you make a salad dressing, this is how I do it because I don't like the taste of drinking apple cider vinegar. In my book, my new book, Prescription for Extreme Health, I say mix it with a bunch of water and put it next to your bed. First thing in the morning, drink it down. And I do that often. But if you make a salad dressing with extra virgin organic olive oil and then some apple cider vinegar, and then you can add ginger if you want to have an Asian flair. You can add Italian seasoning. You want to make it taste Italian. You can add hot pepper, garlic. Use that as your salad dressing. And you're going to get the extra virgin olive oil. You're going to get the apple cider vinegar. And you're going to save a ton of money on salad dressings. One of the biggest ripoffs I think there is on the market today is buying salad dressing. It's ridiculous. $3, $4, $5 a bottle? When you can buy a bottle of apple cider vinegar and a bottle of extra virgin olive oil for 2 of them probably for $20, and it'll last you forever, metaphorically speaking. So that solves a lot of problems. Let's go into coconut oil here. Coconut oil is a saturated fat, but it's actually good for you. It's not the same acid composition as your fast food cheeseburger, different type of saturated fat. Studies show coconut oil can treat skin infections. It fights dry skin. It's also antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral. What I do with coconut oil is I have a root canal, and I wasn't happy. Looking back on my life, I wouldn't have gotten one. I'm not a big fan of root canals. Now that I know you always have a low-grade infection for the rest of your life where the root canal is. And so every now and then my root canal just gives me a little pain. So what I do is I take some extra virgin organic coconut oil, and I just start swishing around in my mouth. Take about a teaspoon. And you can swish it around for up to 20 minutes. Now, I can usually do about 10 before I gag, to be honest with you. But you swish it around for about 20 minutes, and just swish it in between your teeth, and it helps fight the infection and helps bring down swelling. So, folks, going to have to go to a break. If you want to come see us as a patient, we'll be right back. Go to my website, drjoeesposito.com, or just Google Dr. Joe with the #1 Dr. Joe in the world. You can make an appointment online, or you can do it. You can call the office. The number's right there. We have archived radio shows, videos there. You can send me questions through the website. You can get Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source. That's also available on Amazon, too, if you have an Amazon account. My books are available on Amazon and my website. But if you're ready to get well, if you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, I want you in my office as a patient. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge, trying to make it as convenient as we can for you because we want to help you naturally get well and stay well. That's our goal. And if we need other intervention with other doctors, I'm more than happy to refer you out. Folks, got to go to a break. My website again, drjoeesposito.com. Hey, do me a favor. Tell your friends about the show. We're going to be right back. Hey, folks, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with me. I'm so happy that you're here. Hopefully, you learn a lot of stuff when you listen to my shows. Today, we're talking about fats, good fats, bad fats, and surprisingly, how many good fats there are. And I want to talk a little bit more about coconut oil because coconut oil is really a good fat. It is a saturated fat, interestingly enough, but it's actually good saturated fat because it gets firm when it gets cold. That's one way you can tell it's a saturated fat. But things like margarine, which have hydrogenated oil in it, are really bad for you. Coconut oil, a different molecular structure, even though it still is considered saturated, is actually very good for you and should be included in your diet every day. Because what happens is your cells utilize glucose as a fuel. And if you eat too much sugar, the glucose can no longer get into the cells, so it has to go somewhere. So the glucose then gets stored as glycogen. And that's in your liver, your muscles, your blood vessels. And once all the glycogen stores are filled up, it gets converted into something called triglycerides, which then gets stored as fat. So the more sugar you eat, the fatter you're going to get. But the cells also have a secondary source of fuel. The cells can use something called ketones. And coconut oil, extra virgin organic coconut oil, is an excellent source of ketones. So if you get your body into what's called a state of metabolic ketosis, where the body is utilizing fat as a fuel and not sugar, you become a fat-burning machine, but it's also very healthy because it doesn't produce a lot of waste products. So going into a state of ketosis is good to a point. You don't want to stay in a state of ketosis where you just eat meat. That's why it works, because your body is now burning fat because you're not giving it sugar. So you lose weight on a high-protein diet. You can kill yourself. I'm not a big fan of the high-protein diet. And in fact, too much protein can stimulate something called your mTOR pathway, which causes cancer to form. So some protein, okay, but every day people come in, well, Dr. Joe, you're a vegan. Where do you get your protein from? Your body only needs about 8% of its total caloric intake as protein. Everything else is wasted. A carrot is about 4 to 6%. And if you look at the animals that are the biggest, the strongest, the ones we use for work animals, what do they eat? Plants. We don't use tigers as plants. We don't use as workhorse animals. We don't use lions. We don't use dogs. We use the big, strong animals like the ox and the cow and the bull because they eat plants and they have plenty of protein to build strong muscles. Too much protein, actually very dangerous. And that's why you're seeing a lot of professional athletes turning to a plant-based diet because they realize they work more efficiently by not eating meat. And you can get fats to create the ketones to use as fuel. Too much protein also has to be broken down in your liver and in your kidneys. And so that puts a major strain on your kidneys. That's why people that have kidney disease, I wish they would have more nutritional counseling for them. I would say we get about 5 or 6 kidney patients in stage 4 kidney failure in our offices every month, on some months. And I always say, well, what kind of nutritional counseling did you get? Well, don't eat this. And that was it. So let's go a little bit deeper than that. So let's get you on some plant-based proteins that are real easy to digest. But I digress. We're talking about coconut oil here. So the plant-based foods are excellent to build muscle mass. You can use ketones instead of sugar, and coconut oil is a great source of ketones. Studies found that it's superior to mineral oil to relieve things like atopic dermatitis, which is an inflammatory skin disease. So you can use coconut oil on your skin, and in fact, I think you should. Every night, if you're going to put oils and lotions on your face, just take some organic coconut oil and rub it on. It works really, really well, and it's much less expensive, too. You can cook with it. It's pretty stable under heat. And also, you probably want to eat about a tablespoon or 2 every day. It's great for a lubricant. Now, this is a family show. We'll keep it clean. But as people get older, especially of the female gender here, trying to stutter as we go through this, you may need some lubrication at times. And coconut oil is an excellent lubricant because it's medium-chain fatty acids, which actually help your skin internally as well as externally, as opposed to a lot of the commercial lubricants, which are very dangerous and can have things in them called endocrine disruptors, which can actually cause abnormal cell growth. And we don't need any abnormal cell growth in our private parts. So that's why, as far as commercial lubricants go, I'm not a big fan. extra virgin coconut oil, excellent and wonderful. Now, if it's winter, it's going to stay hard at room temperature. Hold it in your hand until it melts, and then rub it on. Works great, by the way, folks. So try that, and I think you'll be very, very happy with that. Flaxseed oil. Well, coconut oils. Let's continue with coconut oils and cooking. I'm sorry. I'm going to jump ahead. I was going to do omega-3s. I got so excited. Everybody wants to know about omega-3s. You can cook with coconut oil. You can cook with avocado oils. Don't cook with other oils that are not as heat stable. So coconut oil is great. Avocado oil is great. And when you cook, try not to deep fry. The longer you cook something, the more damage it's going to cause to the oils, creating free radicals. And free radicals are like Pac-Man. They eat through things, and it causes damage. So, again, try to eat oil if you can as raw a state as possible. Now, I like cooked foods. I eat about 60% raw, but I eat cooked foods too. But try to cook as little as possible at as lower heat as possible. Now, when I made Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source, one of the things I thought of was I don't want to have processed cooked supplements or heated supplements. And so most of the ingredients in the Super Greens and Essential Source are raw. They're processed below 110 degrees, so all the enzymes stay alive. So when you're talking about things like eating food, you talk about coconut oil. If you can eat it, great, straight up, or you can use it in certain foods. But I want you to eat certain foods raw as well. Like I want you to have something raw at every meal. So broccoli, cucumbers, tomatoes, avocados, salad. Because raw food has something in it called enzymes. So if you make a salad and use extra virgin coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil in your salad dressing, coconut oil might harden. You got to be careful with that. That's great. Super Greens and Essential Source are raw because enzymes, well, let me back up. When you were young, you produced a lot of enzymes. And enzymes create new tissue. They take a bag of chemicals, which is all we are really is a bag of chemicals, and make them come alive. And as we get older, those enzyme levels start to drop. Enzymes kind of like matchmakers. You, magnesium, meet calcium. Calcium, meet boron. Boron, meet silica. And now suddenly I created a bone because the enzymes made that happen. As we get older, our enzyme levels drop dramatically. And so we want to increase those enzyme levels as we get older. And the way we do that is by eating raw food. Dr. Joe's Super Greens, Dr. Joe's Essential Source. Another one of the bazillion benefits of Super Greens and Essential Source. But the raw food is something you really want to put into your body on a regular basis. So avocados really solve a lot of those problems. They're high in good fat, and they're raw. They have the enzymes in them. Pretty cool. Nuts work real well. Try to do raw nuts as opposed to roasted nuts. The roasted nuts, be honest with you, usually taste better. Roasted cashews, roasted almonds, they taste better. But that being said, the raw ones are going to be a lot healthier for you. Let's talk about omega-3 fatty acids. I would be negligent if I didn't talk about omega-3 fatty acids. Number one source, where do you think? What's the first thing you think of? You think of omega-3 fatty acids. Fish oil, right? I know you did. Fish oil, excellent source of omega-3 fatty acids. But there's a big but involved. The big but is this. A lot of the fish they use for omega-3 fatty acids are contaminated with mercury or lead. Especially mercury, that's the big one. And the way mercury gets here, in case you're a scientist and you care, in Asia, we have a lot of coal-burning plants. The dust gets in the air, settles in the ocean, and the dust has mercury in it. The bacteria in the ocean start to eat the dust and the mercury. Well, then it goes up the food chain. Smaller fish eat it, and then bigger fish, bigger fish, bigger fish. And eventually, the biggest fish, like tuna, for example, will eat the smaller fish and concentrate the mercury over a lifetime. And so I'm not a big fan of fish oil because it can have a lot of mercury in it. So that being said, you might want to consider krill oil. Now, krill are like little shrimp, and they're excellent sources of omega-3 fatty acids, and they're less likely to have toxic chemicals in them. But the kicker is this. Krill, tuna, salmon, sardines, they don't make omega-3 fatty acids. They get it from eating smaller fish who eat smaller fish who eat algae. Algae is the best source of omega-3 fatty acids. Now, the problem with algae, and it's the kind I take a gram of algae oil a day, is that it's expensive. Now, one thing that I've learned is when you do eat a plant-based diet and you keep yourself healthy, you're going to spend a whole lot less money on health care, on food, on downtime, sick time. You have more energy, so you're able to make more money. So I like the fact that it's cheap to be healthy. And with that money, I figure one of my splurges is going to be things like algae oil. Now, algae oil is the best. Krill next, fish oil next. So I would recommend a krill oil to get your omega-3 fatty acids. Now, some people are vegans like myself, and they think, well, I'm just going to eat plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, things like flaxseed, chia, hemp, even romaine lettuce has omega-3 fatty acids in it. The problem is it's in an ALA form. Now, the ALA version, the form of omega-3s, are necessary for a lot of different things in the body. They help the immune system. They help build cartilage and skin. However, the body likes the DHA and EPA form for brain function and for inflammation. So you have to convert the ALA into the DHA and the EPA. Most people are not healthy enough. There's an enzyme, 6-dihydrogenase. I think that's right. Yeah, pulled that one out of 30 years ago in chemistry. Dihydrogenase? Yeah, I think that's what it is. Anyway, not important. I'm talking to myself. That enzyme converts the ALA into the DHA and EPA. Most of us don't have enough of this enzyme to do a good job. So even if you're getting a lot of plant-based, you may not be getting enough for good brain function. So that's why I take the algae oil, which is the DHA and EPA source of plant-based. So should you still eat the sources of the omega-3 fatty acids from plants? The answer is absolutely yes. So flax seeds are loaded with ALA, and this form, the body transforms into longer-chain fatty acids. See if I remember, let me see if I get my chemistry. I think these are 16-chain omega-3 fatty acids, and they convert into DHA and EPA, which are 19 and 21 carbon chain fatty acids. Only if your chemistry major did that impress you. So you take the shorter ones and make them longer ones, and that helps with skin disorders, atopic dermatitis, acne, immune disorders, when the body starts attacking itself, autoimmune disorders, non-melanoma skin cancer, melanoma. So you can take flax seeds every day. Now, it's a great source of fiber, so it helps your bowels move. I have something called Dr. Joe's Intestinal Cleanser that I give my patients when their bowels aren't moving 2 to 3 times a day, not a week. But you can do the flax seed in addition to that. One of the problems I have is that people will buy the ground-up flax seeds and just scoop it into their smoothies. Like they'll add it with Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source when they make a smoothie. I don't want you buying the pre-ground stuff. I want you to grind it yourself. Because as soon as you start to, as soon as you grind something, it starts to oxidize. And we don't want the fats to oxidize. They become rancid, and that's when they become dangerous and can make you sick. So you have a coffee grinder, I'm assuming, and I'm telling you not to drink coffee because you've heard my lectures before. So you think to yourself, all right, what am I going to do with this coffee grinder? I guess I should give it to, to donate it. No, you're going to grind up your flax seeds or your chia seeds in it. And you can grind them up, and they're a great source of fat, and they're a great source of protein, and a great source of fiber. Now, little trick you can do, not too exciting, but a little exciting, is if you take chia seeds and flax seeds, grind them up, and you can add some raisins to it and some milk and eat it like a breakfast cereal. Very filling, very high in fiber, loaded with nutrients. The raisins make it sweet because otherwise it's like eating sawdust. But be careful. When you pour the milk onto it, I use coconut milk or almond milk, make sure you eat it right away. Because if you let that stuff sit for any length of time, it's going to become like slime. It's soluble fiber, and it becomes just like a glob of slime, and then it's really hard to ingest, get it in your body. So pour the milk on it and eat it. Or make small amounts and do it that way. But it's a fun way to get, I live on the edge. Great ways to get omega-3 fatty acids into your body and the fiber. So if you have 2 to 3 servings of healthy fats every meal, you're going to be doing yourself a world of good. So a tablespoon of coconut oil, avocados, nuts, seeds. These are all good sources of nutrients that I want you to consider. So I want you to take care of yourself chemically, but many times there's physical problems that you can't take care of. And that's why as a chiropractor, I want all of you listening right now to come see us. We have offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. And we want to get the opportunity to check out your nervous system. Do you have pinched nerves, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain? Do you have digestive problems, acid reflux, heartburn? Many times your stomach is pushed up into your diaphragm, and we need to massage and pull your stomach down away from the diaphragm to get it to digest food again. Acid reflux is a warning sign. Something is seriously wrong, and you need to physically fix that. I don't know of any chemical in the world that can fix it. Physically, we fix them all day, every day. So if you want to come see us, go to my website, drjoeesposito.com, or just Google Dr. Joe, #1 Dr. Joe in the world, and we'll set you up a time to come see us. We accept insurances, We file insurances, and if you don't have insurance, we accept you too. I have to laugh. Patients say, well, my insurance doesn't cover cancer treatments, doesn't cover surgery, doesn't cover chiropractic. I don't care. Doesn't mean you can't come see us. It means that you might have to take some responsibility for your health, and in the long term, trust me, you're going to save a ton of money. It's all about saving the money when it comes to healthcare. This is the way to do it. I have the solution, by the way, Washington. Give me a call, make me Surgeon General, or just put me on some committee somewhere, and I'll solve all your problems. I've got it down for you. But if you want to make an appointment, drjoeesposito.com, Google Dr. Joe. If you've ever been in a car accident, the car was damaged, you were damaged, 100% of the time. Sometimes you can damage yourself and not know it for months, weeks, months, or years later. Orthopedic textbooks show you can have up to 6 years before a problem shows up. So you really want to get that fixed. So come see us. Stop waiting. Aggravates the heck out of me. Every day patients come in, Doc, I've had this problem for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and I've been meaning to come see you, but I've been too busy. Your health should be your top priority because then everything else is a lot easier. Make the appointment now, drjoeesposito.com, or just Google Dr. Joe, and we'll get you set up as soon as possible. So we're talking today about fats, the good fats, but I got to be careful when you see things that say low fat and no fat, because that scares me, because you need the fats in your diet, and so many people think that no fat is a good thing. Manufacturers remove fat, but they got to add flavor. So what do you think we're going to replace our fat with for flavor? Well, sugar. Of course. Sugar rocks, man. Tastes great. Speeds up the aging process. So when foods don't have fat, they're usually loaded with sugar. Now, when you eat a lot of sugar, it translates into the impact that's going to have. And studies show that sugar damage includes impairing collagen fibers, rendering them incapable of repair and creating of good new collagen fibers. And when you have sugar and you add it to protein in your body, it creates something called advanced glycation end products. Advanced A, glycation G, end products E. AGE, A-G-E. Kind of funny. I wonder if the scientists, when they came up with that name, realized what they were doing. It causes you to speed up the aging process. And these advanced glycation end products are very dangerous. So when you heat the sugar and there's protein present, you've got these advanced glycation end products. Now, why would you care about that? Well, it causes wrinkles, so it makes you look older. And my concern as a chiropractor is you see the stuff on the outside. I'm worried about the stuff on the inside. So what about the ligaments and cartilage and disc that holds the spine together? The muscles that are held together. You have 206 bones in your body. That's a lot of joints. And if you're taking in a lot of sugar, attacking the joints with advanced glycation end products, attacking the connective tissue, we've got a problem. Because you're probably not going to heal as fast or at all if you don't work with me. That's why in our offices, I'll say, listen, I'll take you on as a patient, but I want you to work with me. This is going to have to be a team effort. And most of the patients say, absolutely, Doc, I wouldn't be here spending my time and my money if I didn't want to get well. And people see us from all over the world. We get people fly in from other countries. We send papers out to state departments to see if we can get people in on a medical visa to come see us. So people come from all over the world because they want to get well. And when you're down and out, you're willing to spend as much money, and it's not that expensive, folks, to come see us, but people travel and spend money and get hotels because they want to get well. And I want to give you the tools that you need to get well. So be careful about things that are low in fat, even things like skim milk. One of the largest and longest studies on women's health, called the Nurses' Health Study, looked at some 77,761 nurses over 12 years. Those who drank more milk as teenagers had higher rates of severe teen acne than those who drank less. Well, that's important. Skim milk was worse than full-fat milk. So teenagers are drinking skim milk thinking they're doing something good. They're not. Besides the lactose, which is a sugar that we as humans don't have lactase to break down the lactose, so we shouldn't be eating it, we adult humans, researchers figured out that the presence of hormones and bioactive molecules in the milk might have created the adverse skin conditions. So when you drink milk, God, I hate to say this. I don't even want to say it out loud. If you're going to drink milk, it needs to be organic, so it doesn't have steroids, hormones, chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, and genetically modified foods in it. And if you can do raw milk, better still. Now, I know in the state of Georgia, it's illegal to buy raw milk for human consumption, but you can buy for animal consumption, which is kind of silly. But if you're going to do milk, it's got to be organic and it's got to be full fat. Don't go with the skim milk. Once again, another case here where you want to make sure you're doing the good fats and not the bad fats. You want to stay away from vegetable oils, corn oil, canola oil, soybean oil, because as a chiropractor, I'm concerned about inflammation. And when you do vegetable oils, corn, canola, soy, they're loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, and omega-6 fatty acids cause inflammation. Omega-3 fatty acids reduce inflammation. In America, we should have a balance of about 1 omega-3 to 1 omega-6 in your diet. If you go as high as 6 omega-6s to 1 omega-3, that's still okay. Most Americans are about 20 omega-6s to 1 omega-3. And that causes an inflammatory reaction. Every disease known to man has an inflammatory component. And as your chiropractor and as your nutritionist and as your doctor, I want you to get healthy. And we need to bring down that ratio of omega-6s to omega-3s to close to equal as we can. And you got to stop putting the bad stuff in. So there are some fats you should avoid, and those man-made fats, the trans fats, the omega-6 fatty acids, and that's what most of the American diet is made of. Studies find acne is primarily an inflammatory disease. It goes back to the liver, I find. So stop causing inflammation. What causes inflammation? The 7 deadly sins of nutrition: alcohol, meat, sugar, dairy, coffee, soda, and artificial sweetener. When I put it all together, years of research have come up trying to make it simple for you. The 7 deadly sins of nutrition, it kind of fit the Bible verse too there, kind of a little play there. But the 7 deadly sins of nutrition, I tried to make it as easy as possible. What do I got to cut out, Doc? Just tell me what not to eat and then tell me what to eat. If you don't know what to eat, go to my website, drjoeesposito.com. Bottom right-hand corner, there's a link. Type in your email address, and I'll send you a lecture that I did called So What Can I Eat? And when patients come in my office, that's part of their treatment plan. I give them CDs called The 7 Deadly Sins of Nutrition and So What Can I Eat? My YouTube channel has The 7 Deadly Sins of Nutrition on it. So you can go there and watch it for free. And we have lots of other videos. So go to my YouTube channel, watch the videos. Start to learn what you need to do to get well. It's not hard, it's easy, and it's cheap. And you're going to probably live longer, and you're going to be happier, and you're going to have a better love life. And I don't see a downside to getting well, except for the fact you may have to try new foods. Some you like, some you won't. And if you don't know what to eat, get my first book. It's called Eating Right for the Health of It, and it lays out how to change your diet. The second book is a total guideline, step-by-step guideline on how to get well. It's called Prescription for Extreme Health. And they're both on my website, along with the Super Greens and the Essential Source, which, by the way, everyone should be taking because they're anti-inflammatory. See, again, I took the 7 deadly sins and said, okay, this is a perfect little way to incorporate the bad foods. The Super Greens, the Essential Source, are a perfect way to get the nutrients in your body as quick, easy, and inexpensively as possible. And so to get the books, to get the supplements, go to my website, drjoeesposito.com, or just Google Dr. Joe, with the #1 Dr. Joe in the world. I think you should make an appointment to come see us. And the reason I say that is because so many of you are suffering needlessly. And every day people come into my office and they complain they should have done it sooner. They've suffered for years. Why didn't they come see me sooner? And once they get treatment, they're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is great. I got to tell all my friends about it. So go to my website, stop suffering, and make an appointment. drjoeesposito.com, or just Google Dr. Joe, #1 Dr. Joe in the world. And we have ways to do it right online, or call us and we'll set up a time. We accept insurance patients. We accept patients that don't have insurance, Medicare, car accidents, sports injuries. Very easy to be a patient at our offices in Marietta, Duluth, and Stockbridge. It's not hard. It's easy. And we're going to check your nervous system. We're going to check your digestive system. And we're going to look at your diet. So if we can put together a treatment plan, we call that Joe Obamacare. I always say that smiling. We want to put you on a Joe Obamacare program, where you get well, you take responsibility for your health, and I don't care if you have a $20,000 deductible, which may happen, who knows. You're not going to have to worry about that too much because you're taking control of your own health. And we work on the physical, getting the bones lined up, pulling the stomach away from the diaphragm to help with the acid reflux. And then we teach you how to take control of yourself and what to do when you go out to dinner, you go to parties. But at least start with Dr. Joe's Super Greens and Dr. Joe's Essential Source. Listen to archive radio shows. Make an appointment for you, your friends, your family, and your children. Children need chiropractic care probably more than anybody. And that's all on the website, drjoeesposito.com. Hey, folks, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. 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 Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.